Hi guys, it's Peaches Petite and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, so I'm going to get straight into this week's VIT, very important talks. What I wanted to discuss this week is a obsessive compulsive disorder, which is called Trichotillomania. Can I say it properly? Trichotillomania. It's a really hard one to say. What that actually is and what it means. It's a obsessive compulsive hair disorder where you compulsively pull out your own hair. The reasons why, or it's linked to why people might do it, is maybe anxiety, it's a form of OCD, maybe some people have ADHD, and just stress itself. They also say that it's a chemical imbalance in the brain, and sometimes it can be a change of hormone levels during puberty. So that is what trichotillomania is. Oh, there we go, I said it. Trichotillomania. Okay, trichotillomania, yeah, that is what it is. So yeah, it's a disorder where you can't stop pulling out your hair. So it can be either from your head, it can be your eyelashes, this is your eyebrows, not your eyelashes, your eyebrows, leg hair, pulling hair from your genital area, maybe pulling hair from your arms. Apparently it can be hereditary. Obviously I'm not a scientist, so what I've read up, it says that it's possible that it could be hereditary. And ways that you can maybe help stop yourself from pulling out hair is identifying the triggers, doing behavioral therapy, keeping a diary of when you have the urge to pull hair, when you pull out your hair. So kind of keep a diary so you can kind of see what is happening in your life around that time. And there's different techniques that you can try. So you can try playing with a stress ball, a fidget toy or something that has either a fidget spinner, or you have other fidget toys where it's like a cube and then they have little light switches on them, little knobbly bits that you can play around with. They have moving balls, elastic bands, so you can put them on your wrist and then kind of snap at them. When you realize that you're doing something compulsive, so you're doing it over and over again and it involves your hands, to keep your hands busy, to stop you doing something negative, they suggest sometimes that you might wear an elastic band that you can snap. It may not be that helpful because obviously then it may end up causing pain or damage to your wrist in general, so it might not be one of the best solutions, but that's one of the solutions that I have looked into before. And downloaded a game on your phone. I've never heard of this one before, but I just came across it one day, or maybe I was looking for another alternative, so I just went through my apps and I found a hair plucking app. So it's a game where it has the hair follicles and it has tweezers or whatever. Use your hands and it gives, it's not going to give you the same sensation as when you pull out your own hair, but obviously it will give you, I don't know, maybe trick your mind. I'm not really sure, but it might help. It's quite common. It's more common than people think. I couldn't find a UK statistic, but for America, it says 1 in every 50 people suffer from this, and also 5 to 10 million people in the United States, roughly, that is 3.5% of the population, suffer with this condition. And how it can make you feel is emotional distress, shame, humiliation, and embarrassment. So it's a little bit of a personal subject for myself. I'm not really sure if I am ready to talk about it, but here we are. It's something that I wanted to talk about maybe in the later stages of my YouTubing. But yeah, I don't know, something that just keeps pulling at me or drawing me to this specific subject recently. So every time I've wanted to create and talk about VIT, like other important subjects that are important to me, or I feel like are important to a lot of people, this one it keeps just calling at me more so than any of the other ones. And I guess because it is personal to me, like I said, I didn't want to do it this soon in my YouTube experience, but a couple of weeks ago it's something that was affecting me, so I guess now is the time. Like it's always gonna be a part of my life, or something that's may occur or bother me. So at this stage, it doesn't really matter when I decide to be open about it. And the reason why I decide to talk about certain topics or things that are personal to me is, because it might help somebody else. So even though it might be hard, or it's not something I really want everybody to kind of know about, at the same time, it makes me relatable, first of all, and then second of all, it might help some other people that are, have been through it, or still currently experiencing it or going through it, or they might actually have this condition and they just don't know that they have it. So it's something that they still hide in. You might be still hiding it from your family, or even trying to really hide it from yourself, or just feel embarrassment or shame, so nobody actually knows. Maybe it's something you're still actually hiding, but hopefully I can let you know that it's actually more common than you think, or at least you can relate to somebody else out there. So I do suffer with trichotillomania. Sometimes I can say and then sometimes I can't. Anyway, trichotillomania, I suffer from that. It's hair pulling. For me, mostly I pull out my actual own hair from my head. I don't pull out my eyebrows and I don't pull out my eyelashes. But the difference for me is when I hair pull from other people that might suffer from trichotillomania, is I don't feel as though I'm pulling for the same reasons. I don't pull out my hair, I don't feel, because I'm just stressed. I do not pull out my hair because of anxiety. I don't do it because of boredom. I don't just sit there watching TV pulling out my hair or unaware that I'm doing it. Whereas some people that suffer from trichotillomania, they sometimes not even aware. It's just a really bad habit. So they just, they'll just sit there and do it in the middle of a conversation or while they're watching TV, and sometimes I might not even realize that they're actually doing it. I don't feel like that is the case for me. For me, the reason why I pull out my own hair, well, I don't just like pull out chunks. It will just be like a strand, like one. Oh, you can't even see that now. Can you see this? No, it won't be. So it'll just be like a strand. So out of these 3 strands or something, I'll pull out one strand at a time. So I don't pull out chunks or whatever, and I'm not trying to hurt myself. Like I said, for me, the reason why I do it is because I have another condition that I will talk to you guys about in another video, but I feel like it's linked to that illness that makes my scalp actually sore. So my scalp's not sore all the time. It basically has flare-ups where sometimes my scalp just gets unexplainably sore for no reason, and it feels like it feels like a burning sensation. So it's like either like burning, it feels hot to touch, so my scalp itself feels like really hot, and it's like red. Anybody that I ask to check or to look, because my scalp is like, it's like so sore, it's like burning. It feels like even like an almost bruise type of feeling. It's like super sensitive. And if I ask any of my family members, like, oh, like, can you check my scalp, what is there, what's wrong with it, is there a cut or whatever, they always say they can't see anything. Like most of the time they just say they can't see nothing, or they just said it's like really red. So that specific area is just like bright red, it's just red. So that's why I will pull hair from those specific areas. So again, I don't feel it's just because of being stressed or having anxiety, because I do suffer from those other things as well. And to be honest, most days is stressful for me. I'm a parent, and life goes on. Like, I'm sure everybody has stress in their day-to-day life, so I don't feel like that is my go-to. I don't feel like that's my go-to coping mechanism personally. I don't personally feel like that is the case. It's just the fact that my head and my scalp is just in so much pain that I'm just trying to relieve that area. When it started, I haven't always had this either, this problem. I would say it started in my late teens, so maybe when I was about maybe 17 or 18 years old, the first time like my scalp got sore, and then I pulled like a little tiny ball. It's just like in the top of my head here, it was like the smallest little ball patch because of soreness, and then over time it just kept getting worse. Like, the pain would come back like more frequently, and I don't know, it's a really hard one, because I don't actually know why that it's happening. And there's times where my scalp can be sore for like 2 weeks, or there's times it can only be sore for a few days, and I can go weeks. The longest I've gone without pulling hair, or since I was probably like late teen, early 20s, is a whole year. I have gone a whole year and I haven't pulled out my hair at all, or my scalp hasn't felt that irritated or that bad. So that's the longest I've gone without my scalp feeling like it's been inflamed. But as time's gone on, I put some really deep, weird breath there. Hold on, maybe I'm talking too fast. Okay, so for me, the longest I've gone is a year, and now I feel like I'm learning on lowering my triggers, or I'm just trying to manage it better. I don't know. But yeah, so for a long period of time, this is a long-term thing. It's something I've been dealing with. I will pull out the hair in those specific areas that is really sore. So most of the time it'll start with just like the crown of my head. So just right here in the middle. That's the most common, to be honest, for me, is like the middle of my scalp. Sometimes at the sides, but it's not as frequent really. Like I said, it's more prominent in the middle of my head, and then there has been times my hairline, so like at the front here, has got sore. So for me, when I pull out the strands of hair, I'm just trying to relieve the pain that I feel. And I know that like some people will be like, well, doesn't that add to the pain, because doesn't it hurt? But for some reason, it's a form of relief for some reason, and it actually does work for that short period of time. So when I've pulled out the majority of the hair from the area that is hurting or causing me pain, I would say after about 2 to 3 days, my scalp seems to calm down. So then it will either stop hurting altogether, or it will just not be as sore or straight. It won't feel as painful. It is seeming to calm down a bit. And I know it's very strange, but for some reason that is just what my scalp decides to do. So normally when I remove all the hair from that area, my scalp does start to feel better. But then long-term wise, it's not a good solution, and it isn't helpful, and it doesn't help, because now I have a bald patch. So it's very frustrating, and I have a bald patch, and I have a bald patch that I need to cover and I need to hide. And also, pulling out my hair, it also causes other like problems, well, like makes your fingers like really sore as well, because you're constantly pulling, and you're pulling like tiny little strands. If your hand's like this all the time, pulling, and for long periods of time, I can sit there for like hours like pulling my hair, because I can't see the back of my head, or I can't see where the pain is, because obviously you've got hair, it's all under this. Can you see? So imagine this, and you can't really get to see. Even when I do this, sometimes it's hard to even get to the scalp, so you can't see. I don't know where it is, unless somebody can show me or help. I can't see, so sometimes I end up pulling more hair out than I even want to in the first place, because I can't see. So when I'm doing this, trying to relieve the pain, it ends up making like your fingers like super sore. It also makes your arms ache because your arms are like this the whole time, lifting. So it's like keeping your arms up in the air. Imagine keeping your arms up in the air for like hours, for like 2 hours straight or whatever it is, because when I do start to pull, then it becomes a compulsive disorder, because once I start pulling, I can't stop. Like literally I can't. I'll pull. If I pull one strand, it's practically near enough game over for me. If I decide that I'm going to go down that route, it is like a slippery slope, because once I start, I can't stop. I just want the pain to go away, so I'll just keep pulling until I feel like I'm relieved in some type of way. And then it obviously frustrates me. So where the emotional distress comes from is, one of them is time wasting. So I'll be frustrated if I've now just wasted an hour or 2 hours of my time or my life, because I'm sure I'll have other things to do, and I've just sat here for a long time pulling out my hair. The other parts of it being an emotional distress is, now I have bald patches. No one wants bald patches in their head. So then obviously now I don't like the way that I look. I don't like seeing myself that way. I don't want these bald patches in my hair. And as funny as it sounds, it's like, well, you're the one who's doing it. But I actually don't want bald patches in my hair. I just don't want to be in pain. And I can't help it. Like I said, if I pull out one strand of hair, I can't help but then continue to pull out hair. So it's not something that I genuinely actually want to do. And I definitely don't want bald patches. When you have bald patches, then now I have to try and find ways to cover them up. So when I have longer hair, so when my hair is long, most of my time I'm spending doing hairstyles that are just covering a big bald patch that is in the middle of my head. So I can't wear my hair out like this. I can't just wear it out. Even if I was able to cover it somehow with the top of my head, like the middle, obviously I'm going to be worried about things like the wind or whatever, stuff like that. So most of the time I'm restricted to hairstyles by having to tie my hair up all the time. So most of the time when my hair is longer, you'll just see me with like a high top bun or a ponytail. And then obviously when it gets that deep and I have practically no hairline, it's game over, it's a wrap. I have to then start going to using things like headscarves and wigs. That's a pain in the ass in itself. I don't particularly like wearing headscarves. They give me headaches. They obviously, when you tie them, they lean on the tips of your ears here. It makes my ears sore. Like I said, it gives me headaches throughout the day. Then they become loose throughout the day. So I'm constantly having to adjust them. Or when I was working, when they start to get loose, or your knot at the front starts to flop forwards, and I have to keep going, taking toilet breaks to go and adjust it and fix it. It's just a long process. And sometimes they're good. Sometimes wearing headscarf is good because it's easier. It's practical because then you don't really have to do your hair or worry about your hair. So in them instances, it's okay. And especially if you're only going to wear them probably, once in a blue moon. But for me, it's just an annoyance, to be honest. And it's something I don't genuinely want to have to do. And I would prefer it to more be a choice than I have to wear a headscarf. Do you know what I mean? Like, or if you have a delivery driver come to the house, whatever, I can't just go to the door now when I have like no hairline or bald patches. I have to keep running around, quickly put on my headscarf, and then after I've answered the door, I then can take the headscarf back off. And the same with a wig. I don't particularly like wearing wigs. Same reason, they give me headaches. So the band that I'm using to secure my wig, throughout the day, it just ends up giving me a headache. The little plastic bit starts digging into the back of my head here. It's just sore. The lace itself, that can irritate my scalp or irritate me, so it's just like itchy. And then I don't look myself either. Me personally, I don't particularly like wearing wigs because I don't feel like myself. So the same way some people prefer to wear wigs and they feel more like themselves that way, for me that's not how it is. I just prefer to be me. I just want to be myself. I just want my own hair. I just want, and I don't, when I look in the mirror, I don't see myself. I see somebody else, and I really don't like it. And also, plus I know underneath what the problem is, so it just doesn't feel authentic to me. And I know the only reason why I'm doing it is to hide something, and it's frustrating. And the hair sometimes as well, I'm not 100% sure that I'm allergic to it, but sometimes the hair on, or maybe the lace, I'm not sure, I might be allergic to it, because the last few times that I had to wear a wig, then I kept getting like rashes on my forehead. I don't obviously have rashes and I haven't been wearing a wig. But yeah, I'll get like these rashes and bumps, like these little white bumps all over my forehead, and I can't get rid of them. Also, I feel like I'm allergic to tea tree oil as well, the same thing. Whenever I've tried to use tea tree oil for my face, just to cleanse it, keep it clear, or as an antibacterial, my whole face just goes crazy. It just rashes up and I get like spots everywhere, especially like on my forehead. Or trying before, when I'm obviously trial and error and I'm trying to make the situation better, my scalp gets more sore and more inflamed if I put tea tree oil in my scalp. So I've tried that before as like a cooling sensation, or obviously to speed up the hair growth, because tea tree oil is like a stimulant and it just irritates me and my skin more. So yeah, once I've got the bald patches, I now have to spend a lot of my time trying to either cover it with the hair that I have when my hair is longer, or hiding it, which is buying wigs, wearing headscarves, and buying 1,000,001 headscarves. And when it gets that bad, like eventually I just got frustrated quite a few times and I just shaved off all my head. I've done it a few times, but I haven't, until 2019, I had never like just shaved off my head, like just shaved it to just one level. I would shave it and then like into a style. So I've had it like short before, so basically where the bald patches is growing back, it kind of just like blends in, and then I just kept like the front piece long, so it's like kind of in a style. But 2019, yeah, I just had enough. Like my hair was like down here, it's long, and all I'm doing is covering it up, and it's just frustrating because the rest of my hair is growing, so it's just getting longer and longer and longer. But then in the middle, I just have like a bald patch. Or even when it was growing, imagine I have long hair down to here, and then I just have a bit of hair in the middle that's just this short. There's no point. At this stage, I'm just like, what is the point of having all this hair? I can't wear it out. I can't really do anything with it, because in the middle of my head, or at the side, my hair is this short. I need it to be all one level and all one length. So I said, do you know what? I had enough. Plus my scalp, and it keeps getting sore. I just got frustrated one day. I said I just had enough of this, and I just shaved it all off. Number one, obviously people thought that was crazy in my household. They didn't want me to do it, or they was like, what the hell have you just done? What have you just done? But yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I did it for me. Like whether anybody liked it or not liked it, it felt like something that I had to do. And to be honest, I actually shaved my hair off the night before an interview. How crazy is that? Crazy. It's just, I was on like an emotional roller coaster, and I was going for a job interview, and I just shaved it off the night before. I said, nah, I'm just gonna shave it off and start again. It didn't make sense to me to have all this hair, but underneath I'm just hiding other things. So for it to just grow all together at its own speed and whatever, I just shaved it off. So a whole year went by, then my hair got to like this length. So in 2020, before the lockdown, so eventually I had like a really short hairstyle, because obviously it wasn't exactly a bald patch no more. It was able to blend in, so that's why I had my short hairstyle, and I was rocking that for a while, along with the wigs, along with the headscarves. And then we was coming into another lockdown. But just before lockdown, I started having the same problem again, where my scalp just kept getting sore. I then even though my hair was so short, so it was even hard to even grasp the hair itself, I then started to pull hair again. So then I was like, it was like thin in this area. Again, I'm pissing myself off. Like, I'm just mad at myself. Okay, I'm obviously, because I'm the one who's doing it. So I'm frustrated, I'm angry that now I'm doing this myself. But it got to a nice stage like this and a nice length. It was growing back, and now I've just started to mess it all back up again. And because we were then going into lockdown, I just thought, well, now's the time. Like, I knew that was going to be here for at least 3 months or whatever. So I just shaved it off again, level 1, because the same thing was happening. My hair was this length, but then I had parts of it that were just short. Again, don't make sense. And then I knew that obviously the longer this grows, it's not going to be the same level. So when this grows to here, that's only going to go to, like, let's just do it like this. So when this, let's say this grows to here, then the bit here is going to only go to there. That's going to go to there, that's going to go to there, that's going to go to there, that's going to grow to there. So it was never ever going to be the same level. So I just shaved it off again. And then here we are today. This is how it is today. It's obviously thicker, and I feel like it was the right decision for me to make at that time by cutting my hair. But it still happens every now and then. So like I said, the longest I've ever gone is a whole year without my scalp hurting or affecting me or bothering me at all. And this time round, at the beginning of lockdown, I cut my hair. So again, so near enough a year, and I haven't really had that many problems. I've only maybe 3 to 4 times I feel like my scalp has got sore, but not that bad for me to want to pull out my hair. So it's basically just me using my own mind power not to do it. So when my hair gets sore now, it's just my mind. I have to be very focused and make sure that I don't do that. And for me, what I found is my trigger is normally the time of the month. So my premenstrual period, I would say around that time is when my scalp gets sore. So that's what I started noticing. I started noticing when I'm due on and it's that time of the month, that's when my scalp gets sore. And then after my period, my scalp is probably just fine. It doesn't hurt at all. So now that I kind of had an understanding of that and obviously how my body's working, when my scalp does get sore, you know, I just try and ride that week or 2 out where I'm just like, okay, after this time, it's going to be fine again. So it's just a mind over matter thing. It's just me and my mind. Yeah, I've gone to the doctors before. Also, I haven't really got much help from them. Just kind of a shrug of the shoulder of they don't really know how to help or what it is. And at best, they've just wanted to diagnose me with alopecia or give me steroid cream just to grow back the hair. I wasn't really getting much help there. So that's why I haven't really been able to go down that route, because I'm not really a sicky type of person that way. I don't really like taking medication, and yeah, I don't like really actually having to go to the doctors or hospital or anything like that. So maybe where some people will keep pushing or they will keep going to the doctors until they get answer, I don't really want to be there anyway. So it's hard for me to even go to the doctors or ask for help, like, first off. And then second of all, if you're not really giving me the help or you're making me feel more bad about the situation, you're kind of putting me off from even going there. If I have bad experiences, then I just don't want to go there at all. And then that then causes me then just to do my own research, look into it myself and try and help myself, basically do my own remedies, see what else I can eat or drink to avoid the situation, or my own tactics. So for me, one of the tactics, what I said, was the elastic band thing. That did not help. The fidget thing, for me either, it did not help. What else? The hair pulling game, I didn't have it on my phone long enough to see whether it helps or not. I only used it a couple of times, But like I said, for me, it's just more of a mind over matter. Me figuring out my triggers, or when my scalp has flare-ups, I figure that out on my own. Like I said, I just do my own research, and it's just real bad. There's times I've even, what did I buy one time? I bought something one time to tie my own wrist up. What did I buy? Oh, that was it. I didn't tie my own wrist up. What I did was buy dumbbells that are for your ankles or whatever, or dumbbells for your wrists, and you strap them. So I've tried that before, where I've wrapped dumbbells around my wrist in the evening times, or when I'm not going to pull, even if my scalp's sore, when I'm out and about or I'm at work before, I'm not going to pull my hair out and about or in front of people or on a train or whatever it is. So when I would pull, obviously it's going to be probably more in the evening time or on my days off when I'm just at home. So yeah, in the evenings what I do is I'll just wrap my wrist in dumbbells, so they're so heavy, obviously I can't really lift them, to stop me from pulling my arms up to the back of my head, so because they're heavy. I would say that can help actually after a while. I know, again, I feel like everything's psychological. So I know, obviously, you can just, if you really want to pull out hair, you'll just rip them off and take it off. So maybe it won't help for some people, but for me, I felt like it was a good option at the time. So sometimes I'll just put them on and they're just heavy. So I can't keep pulling it up and down because my arms, they're aching or whatever. Okay, shaving my hair off. I guess, yeah, that can help. It didn't feel as irritated, I guess, because you don't have hair moving around or rubbing or getting tangled or knotty. So I would say that cutting my hair helped as well, because it's short, it just stays, it doesn't move about, it can't irritate my scalp. I have like this massage thing that vibrates, that you can wash your hair and stuff with it. When I first got it, obviously I'm using it, but to be honest, I haven't really used it because I forget about it. It's actually in a drawer, and then when I go to have a shower, I'll just probably forget to take it with me. But again, I have tried that before. I feel like because you're the one who's doing it to yourself, the best solutions is usually if somebody else was helping you. So if you have like people in your home or family members or whatever, someone that you're close to that is able to help you, I feel like that would help people who suffer with this a lot more too. So either, if you have a close family member, if you are doing it for other reasons like stress or anxiety or this or that, that person then can be a reminder for you, so they can tap your hand or just be like, just letting you know, like if you're unaware that you're doing it, again, just a tap on the shoulder or tap just to say, just letting you know that you're starting to pull again as a reminder. And then for me, that what would have helped if I had somebody that was kind enough in my household to oil or like rub my own scalp. So when my scalp is sore, I feel like I would have needed somebody to like massage or rub that spot for me, or put oil in my hair so I'm not touching my hair. That would help a lot. And then I use a few products which I'll get into after that I will feel like help with my hair growth in general. But for me, I feel like keeping my scalp or my hair moist is the main help for myself. So by keeping my hair moist, or by keeping my scalp moist, it stops, I feel like, my scalp from flaring up. So water. I know it's a pain, and especially if you're someone who has curly hair and stuff, because once you've normally washed it or whatever and styled it, you don't want to touch it again for the rest of the week or for a couple of weeks. But for me, water has been the best option, the best solution. Again, when I have flare-ups, my scalp is burning and so sore, I can even get up in the middle of the night and literally my scalp is that sore and hurting so much, I'll just get up in the middle of the night and literally go and run the shower over my head. So that's one thing. Again, when my scalp's getting sore, I just know I've got to get moisturized or water or something on it, and as quick as possible to stop it from getting more and more sore, if that makes sense. So me constantly making sure my scalp and my hair is wet. Obviously I can't do that all the time. When I'm going out, my hair's not going to be wet, it's going to be dry. But when I come back in the evening times, I try to wet my hair before I go to bed. It can be a bit of a pain because now you don't really want wet hair when you're going to bed. So it's about trying to find a balance or a routine where you can hopefully, I don't know, wet your hair a few hours before you go to bed. So your scalp's still like moisturized, or like moist. It's not even moisturized, moist, and has a cooling feeling to it. Trichotillomania is a compulsive disorder that causes you to pull out your own hair. I'll just go through a couple of products that I use to aid my situation. I wouldn't say recovery. Yeah, I wouldn't say, yeah. So for me, like I said, water. Make sure that I wet my hair as much as possible every time I have a shower, every time I have a bath. And that's another reason why I am more forced as well to have my hair more natural. Growing up or as a teenager, I never used to have my hair curly. I always straightened it, I perm it. I do all sorts of things to make sure that my hair is straight. Honestly, I actually do prefer myself with straight hair. I do like myself better. I do feel more confident with straight hair and just like visually what I see, honestly. But I want my hair to grow, and I know that by straightening my hair it's just going to cause damage, and it's going to dry out my hair, it's going to cause my hair to break, to snap, and it makes my hair thinner. And then also because of the condition that I got, it doesn't help when my hair's got like thin patches or bald patches. For me, straighten my hair, it's just gonna appear thinner than what it actually really is anyway. If you're straightening your hair and you've got no hair in the middle and you're just using the long bits to kind of just cover it, now my hair just looks like flat and thin. That doesn't look appealing, because then when I have a shower, I wet my hair again. So again, it's not practical to wear my hair straight. I'm not going to use chemicals like I used to. So that's why I just have to wear out curly, and I have to just let it be. I have to let it be in its own state so I can get the hair growth and so I don't irritate my scalp. And I do want my hair to grow. I want it to be long. Maybe about 3 weeks ago, it was sore, and then I did start to pull out hair again. So the middle of my hair again is not going to be, it's not that bad because I didn't pull out a lot, but it's not going to be as thick in that area, and it's not going to be as, you can't really see, well maybe you can. So here, look, it's just a hell of a lot shorter, see, than the rest of my hair. You see that? Even when I do that, it just springs up. So the middle of my hair now, see how short that is compared to this? So I was having a hard time with my scalp about 3 weeks ago. So it's frustrated. Obviously it's like a journey that I'm going on all the time, and I'm disappointed in myself. I cut my hair for a reason, and then I kind of just went a little bit off track because this time around I found it, I wasn't able to not control the urge to pull. But I feel like I'm getting better at it. And yeah, it's just about self-control. It's me just really controlling my own body, my own self, my own mind, that is getting me to where I have got so far. So for the length for it to be now or for it to continue, it's just me. It's my own mind that is going to help me on the journey that I'm going on. But yeah, back to hair products. So yeah, I use sheer moisturizer, shampoo and conditioner. I haven't used it for a while, so I can't tell you whether it actually helps really with hair growth unless I use it more often. And then to be honest, again, they're actually in my personal drawer and not in the bathroom, because obviously I don't want other people to just be rinsing out my expensive hair products. So because I then put them in drawers, I forget that I have them. This is just shampoo and conditioner from Sainsbury's, and I've just been using these, and I'm sure there's other ones out there. This is just called Volume Boost Hair Matters Volume Boost Shampoo for fine hair. It's got keratin and some amino acids and provitamin B. That's the shampoo, and then the same conditioner wise. Obviously I'm sure there's other conditioners out there that you can use, So anyone who's got like bald patches or thinning hair, or they want it to grow, I would suggest that. I feel like it does kind of help, and I feel like it does make your hair feel a bit more thicker. So I would definitely try and use those. And like I said, the black castor oil, it has shea butter, peppermint and apple cider vinegar, so they're all like hair natural stimulants. So I would say that helps your hair grow. For me as well, I've recently been using peppermint oil. So like I said, about a few weeks ago, I've only just started using this. I've never used it actually before. It's peppermint oil, and I used it, I just started using it a few weeks ago because my scalp got sore again. So I was using it as like a cooling method. So when you put it on your hair, it then has like this weird cooling sensation. So I was trying to help my scalp in that way. So far I like it, and actually, to be honest, mind I don't spill on my clothes. Like, I like the smell of it. It's peppermint, so can't go wrong. Like you at least should be smelling good anyway. Whether it actually helps your hair grow or not, I don't know, but we'll see. I've been using castor oil, just pure castor oil. I was using Jamaican castor oil before because I don't like the smell of just natural castor oil. Some people might think it doesn't have a scent to it. I don't know. It does have a scent to it. I can't put my finger on what the scent is, but I don't particularly like it. I don't like the smell of it, but I know that it's better to use just the pure one than the ones that are mixed and have all the other flavor. Plus this was big, so the reason why I'm using this one, I bought it on Amazon, and as you can see, the bottle is huge. So at least I know that it's gonna last a while. Because the other black castor oil ones, the Jamaican one, they're like this small, and because I'm going to use it quite often, I don't want to spend the money just keep replacing or buying the product. So I decided to just use the plain one. So okay, what I do now is mix the peppermint oil and this. So I use a little bit of this on my palm, a splash of this, so I prefer the scent, and then I can still get the cooling from the peppermint, but then I can get the rest of the, I don't know, what would you call it? I don't know, the helpfulness. That's not really helpfulness, is that a word? Of these products. So this one, obviously it has collagen and elastin, has omega-6, 9 and essential fatty acids. It strengthens hair and moisturizes skin, and it's free from harmful richins. Don't really know what that means, but again, to make sure my scalp don't get dry and that it's constantly full of moisture so it doesn't get sore, I use this because it's really thick. And I have actually been using it along with my other body cream for my skin as well, just to make sure that we ain't dry. Well, first of all, I use it, by the way, when my hair is wet, so it can like soak in, and then once it's dry, it's not just really sitting on or just making your hands or whatever just so oily or greasy. And I only put it like, I put like and I kind of get it into my scalp. I don't like drench my whole hair in it, because otherwise my hair would just be too oily. Then it would be limp as well, then it won't be like fluffy or bouncy. It would just like be like, you know, like if I had too much oil in my hair. I want it to be able to just do its own thing. I've been using this for quite some time now. I've been using it for a long time. I haven't really bought the pink moisturizer hair sheen for a while. There's no particular reason why, but just pink moisturizer hair sheen, or this one, olive oil, which is ORS company. Again, if your scalp is sore, whatever, at least I can get like really close to my scalp. I don't know, can you see my scalp here? I don't know, see, my hair's actually growing. I've got so much hair now that you can't barely even see my scalp. No, I can't even get to my scalp right now. Alright, there's a bit of scalp there. So when, at least with the sheen sprays, again, if my scalp was sore, I can get right close to the affected area. So that's really helpful. And then it's lightweight, so again, it's not so oily that it's gonna like drag your hair down. Your hair can still do its own thing, but at least have a little bit of shine to it. Main source is Cantu as well. without this, my hair wouldn't be as curly as it is now. Without the Cantu leave-in cream, my hair wouldn't be as curly as this. It's just more fluffy, or like the curls are really tight. So I find that when I use this, my curls are a little bit bigger, a little bit more bouncy. There's a piece of my hair here that isn't really doing anything. Can you see? It's like just dry as hell, and the curls are not really big. It's just dry and frizzy and fluffy. I don't know why that is. But yeah, without the Cantu leave-in hair conditioners, this one's shea butter, and then they do have another one. I can't remember what it's called. I actually prefer the smell of the other one, but yeah, recently this is all I've kind of been able to get my hands on. So the shea butter one, and yeah, it makes my curls pop. It makes my hair super soft. Again, this also can help with my scalp. When my scalp is sore, when it's sore and it's wet or damp, I just put loads of this on the affected area, and it also helps cool my scalp. Love this. I've used it for at least, I would say, 3 years now. And before that, I don't know what I was doing before. I was probably using pink moisturizer, but that makes your hair limp because it's so oily, so greasy, so heavy. The curls don't really pop, and then it's just like so greasy. Like if you was to do this with your hair, it just like drips, or if you was to squeeze it, it just drips. So yeah, this has been a lifesaver and the best hair product that I've used. It's either this one and also Sheer Moisture, the same brand as this. They do their own leave-in hair conditioner as well. It's quite expensive. I feel like, well, okay, I don't know how much it costs in the actual hair shop, but I started using it in lockdown, so I was ordering on Amazon. I swear it's like £10. And it's smaller than this as well. Like this is quite big. It's like half the size of this. So I've used it twice, haven't re-bought it, but that can be quite helpful for hair growth or for thickening your hair, because it has like the same type of ingredients. It has apple cider and stuff in it, and probably peppermint too. So I feel like that is still really good. Hair serum, so anything from Fantasia hair serums, they've got a few different ones. This is a carrot oil one for strength in your hair. I actually do feel like it works. This is a good alternative to hair oil, and if you don't want to use any oils at all, 100% you need to use a hair serum, because then your hair has the shine to it. It can still have bounce to it, or even if your hair is straight, it just has this nice shine. It looks healthy, but it's not having that greasiness. So once you pull it on, your hair's not going to be like sticky or feel just greasy. It's oil kind of free. You pull it in, and then you can still touch your hair, move it, and you're not going to have like residue all over your hands or all over your pillow or anything like that. Also, hair gel. This is the only hair gel that I use. Over the years, I've gone through millions of different types of hair gel, and this is the one that I like. This is my favorite because it's coconut based, so it's coconut oil. I just feel like it's better for your hair, and to be honest, for me personally, it's the only hair gel that doesn't like make your hair like it doesn't make your hair hard, but it still keeps it in place. It doesn't leave it flaky. Again, over the years I've used millions and millions of different, millions is like, yeah, that is an exaggeration, but I have used loads and loads since I was a kid till now, and I find most of them still flake. Even if it says it's flake free, they still flake, so you look like you have dandruff and your hair is just all white and dusty. This is the only one that has never ever done that to my hair before. So this is the reason why I use the coconut eco styling gel. And also it helps with the curls as well. There's times where the curls, again, it won't be like curly like this. So even today what I've had to do is, some of it was still just looking fluffy. Like this side is more, I don't know, frizzy or fluffier than this side. This side's got a bit more of the ringlets, but they weren't curling up before. It was just fluffy. So I'll just use like a little bit of the hair gel, and then just like go back in with it, and like, or even just do that whole twisty thing with the hair gel, and then it will help with curling my hair. And that's it. Like I said, water. It's my little water bottle spray, and just always make sure I've got water on my scalp to help. And when in tough times, I've had to resort to these magic retouch for like grey hair. If I've got a bald patch and it's not too big or too large, I'd cover it with this. So again, I cover it with this, but then obviously if you do touch the area, it does leave residue, and then you'll have like black kind of on your hands. So you just have to remember not to touch your head. And then what I worry about, I've never had that problem, but when I do spray it, I'm gonna be self-conscious, because then when it's hot, if you're sweating or whatever, I do worry that it will run. I haven't had that experience, but it's a worry, something that's going to be on my mind all day when I've sprayed a bald patch so it blends in with the rest of my hair, that it's going to end up running in the summertime. Also, I feel to make your hair, right now I don't really have that problem because my hair has grown, but like when I did have the bald patches, or when my hair is thinner because of the lack of hair, just recently, I would say, like when you get really close to the scalp and just like do this to your scalp, and like, to be honest, I don't want my hair to be too big or thick right now, but yeah, if you put your hair right in to the roots of your scalp but not touch the rest of the hair, and just like give it some friction, so like kind of as if you're washing your hair, and just like do this, give it some friction. Every now and then I have used, not today, because yesterday I used the diffuser, so like the blow dryer with the head on. It's the Paul Smith hair diffuser. When I use this, like I said, I don't really have that problem right now, so I don't know how it works like when your hair is thinner, but yeah, what I'll do is just kind of do this to the roots, just to make that like appear to be a bit more thick, or just give it a bit of friction. I tend to let my hair dry, not dry, but like a little bit, and not go straight in with this, because what it would do is kind of just like suppress your curls, and it would just like make them shorter, and it would kind of like shrink and shrivel up, and just be like zoop, if you know what I mean. So what I would do is normally air dry it a little bit, and then yeah, I go in with just like placing it like this, like most of them say. I know it's not on right now. And then towards like the end, what I would do, let me see, that's better. I actually pull my curls down and then pull it on it like that, so I can still retain a little bit of length, and then when I let go, the length will stay down and not shrink back up into an actual ball. And the same with the front bit of my hair. There we go. So same with this. If I didn't do that, this would just bunch up on top of my head here. Whereas towards the end of me trying to blow dry my hair, I would just like hold these bits down and then pull it on like this. Just kind of stretch the curl a little bit and hold it, and then it will just stay in place. Whereas if I didn't do that, it would just go into a tight puff basically. So that's how I get a little bit of more oomph into my hair, I'd say, especially when it's thin as well. And then there is hair fibers that you can buy online as well. This is just like to cover up grays, but I've bought like a fiber spray before, so if you're suffering with like really thin hair or anything like that, there's like fiber sprays that you can buy. You can get right like into the root, just to give you the illusion that your hair is thicker. And it has a bit of colour into it, so again, you're not just seeing so much scalp, your scalp will be a little bit more darker. So you can get sprays, or you can get like powder fibre. I have tried those before as well. And I do have another condition, but like I said, I will do another video on that. And that's kind of it, yeah. I know it was a bit of a weird one, but it's part of life. Well, it's part of my life, and there's a part of a lot of other people's life. And at the end of the day, as of course it does cause, like obviously today you see me talking, you don't see me upset about it or anything like that, but sometimes I have been really down about it. Sometimes it obviously, yes, it's going to cause me a lot of stress. It makes me sad, makes me down, it makes me feel horrible about myself. and it makes me frustrated, and it really makes me angry at myself. It stops me from doing a lot of things. There's lots of times I don't want to leave the house because I have bald patches, or because I don't want to wear a headscarf, or because I don't want to have to put on a wig. So it stops me from living life sometimes when I'm in that situation, because now I don't want to go nowhere. Like, there's times I've had meltdowns when I'm supposed to probably go to an event. I start to get ready, and then I just can't go, because I don't know, it just feels like too much effort to hide the situation. And I would rather just be myself, and I can't be myself when that's happened, because but I'm going to contradict myself here, because it doesn't feel like myself. But the contradiction is the way that I found of managing it is figuring out the trigger. So figuring out that actually my scalp only gets sore around the time of my menstrual cycle, and that time comes and goes. So I know, okay, please, I beg myself, do not touch the scalp, let it ride out, everything's going to be okay. And normally, recently, like, because I figured that out, it is okay. And then we just go back to normal, where I don't have a sore scalp. Keep my hair moist. Not my hair, I keep saying hair. I need to keep my scalp moist. That helps me. And then fourth thing is accepting it. What has really, really helped me, I feel, is accepting that it actually is, for now anyway. I don't know if it will ever go away, or if I'll be able to get help where I never do that again. But for me, it was actually accepting that actually this is a part of me, this is a part of who I am, and it's just about trying to manage it, if you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Whereas before, I'm just angry, I don't like myself, I feel like this is not me, why, like, am I doing this to myself? Or other people around you are not understanding, so your family members, you know, they might shame you because of it, and all that type of stuff, and then you're trying to explain to them, or because of what information they're reading. I can't speak for everybody else, but for myself, the information they're reading up upon it is anxiety, stress, depression, this and that. For me, that is not the reason why I'm pulling out my hair. It's only because my scalp is sore. If my scalp was not sore, I would not pull out my hair, and I don't pull out my hair. My scalp is not sore, I do not pull out my hair. So it's just understanding me better and how that condition affects me personally, and accepting this is a part of my life, and this is a part of me. So when I do have bald patches and stuff, that's who I am. That's part of my situation, that's part of my life, and nothing I can do about that. And it doesn't change me as a person, if you know what I mean. So anybody that has a problem with it, anyone who wants to shame you, anyone who, you know, doesn't like how you look or whatever, at the end of the day, I just don't care about that. I do not care how you feel about my head, because at the end of the day, it's my head, it's my body. I'm the one who's actually having to deal with it, and the effects of it. And at the end of the day, I'm still me, I'm still who I am. It doesn't change who I am as a person. So I feel like, yeah, that's how I'm learning how to deal with it. And again, it's a journey, it's a process. It's just not, it hasn't just gone away. It's been years and years and years of me going through this chain of events, growing my hair, pulling it out, growing my hair, pulling it out, or shaving it. I'm still on that journey. I'm hoping that I can just keep getting better and push through it, so I can have the hair and the length that I want, and just manage the pain better. Because yeah, at this stage, I'm still gonna have flare-ups in my scalp. So just managing the pain, or figuring out what works best for my scalp. And that's it. That's all I can do, I feel. Yeah. So thank you for whoever stayed to watch this VIT, and hopefully I will be back soon. I'm not gonna make promises. I won't say see you next week, just in case I haven't uploaded a video by then. But yeah, thank you guys. Like, share and subscribe please.